Okay, so I could see it says we're recording. So you probably got a warning when you came in. So we're good there. You can hear my audio, so we're good there. Are we good to start or not?
Yeah. I see your orange shirt.
That's right. It just says Independence Day or something. Yeah. Here we go. Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello. Hello. Is anybody there?
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, so today we're going to be reviewing Bad Batch episodes 4, which is called Cornered, and 5, which is called Rampage. And we have, we're going to spend a large amount of time reviewing the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer that came out last week. And we've got another news article too. And then, of course, we're going to go through the episodes scene by scene. Sound good? Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
let's get started here. It's time for the news. And hopefully on the YouTube stuff you can see my screen. This happens to be the article we're talking about. Really, the reason I'm sharing my screen is because of the trailer. So so the first one is in the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer. There was several scenes that showed Inquistors, and this article is talking about the Inquistors. It's from /film.com, and it's basically going through the different types that are there. So,
were there 3 of them, or
there's
did that, or that one?
I think there's at least 3. There might. I think I
Put on
saw
a hat.
4. I think I saw 4. Yeah, there's one of the hats. So, the thing to know about the Inquisitors is they're commissioned by Darth Vader to find the whatever Jedis are left. And Jedi in exile training. Let's see. So
Which is all. This is all right before New Hope.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. So Obi Wan Kenobi takes place 9 years after what's the last one? Revenge of the Sith, I think, or is it? Yeah, I think that's the last one. And then, which is, there's a 15-year gap between Revenge of the Sith. I guess it's the Clone Wars, and then it's New Hope, right? So there's a 15-year gap there, and Obi Wan Kenobi takes place 9 years into that 15-year gap. So it's around that time, 9 or 10 years. So you were talking about there's an Inquisitor with a weird, dome-shaped hat. That's one
It
that
looks like a pirate hat.
Yeah, kind of does, yeah. And I think that's Brother the Fifth, maybe. And then there's the Grand Inquisitor, and then we have the female one, which There's two female ones I think that we saw in the clip, and we'll look through the clip a little bit more. But this guy
I thought I
here
saw
is,
one.
there's two. So there's the one that didn't have a helmet on the whole time. The girl
I saw
with
the
the,
black gal.
yeah, her name's Reva.
Yeah.
It stands for something else longer, but she goes by Reva. And then there's another girl that has like, I don't know, little skin nodules that come down that kind of look like they're you know, could be hair, but it's actually skin or something. And it's
Oh, okay.
you saw her sitting at the table when they were in the Inquisitors, whatever that building is that we come up on in the trailer. That's in the ocean.
What planet is that? The ocean planet with the.
Yeah.
Is that where?
It's a
where Ray?
no,
it's Ray.
It's a moon that's in the Mustafar system. So it's next to it's close to that planet where Darth Vader's little building is, or whatever that we see in some of the movies. You know, it's got the lava
So
coming
it's not
out.
where all the wreckage was, where Ray went out with the.
No, this is a different planet.
My bad.
And no, you're fine. I'm looking at this article and I'm not seeing the information I wanted to see apparently, but I thought this was a good article, but I guess it's not. It doesn't really tell us much about these guys. So it says here also that Inquisitors don't have force capabilities. They could have, some of them could have some, but most of the Inquisitors don't have force capabilities. Some of them are, Jedi's that kind of didn't make it all the way through, or they have a grudge against them or something.
Oh, okay.
What else does it say? Source 66. They have, females are called sisters and males are called brothers, of course. And apparently there's 10 to 12 of them at some point in, if you include Legends, I think there's 12 different Inquisitors. And the thing to remember here is these Inquisitors are they're all there at the time of Obi Wan Kenobi. But if you remember in Rebels, the Inquisitors in there, and there might have been a few of them in Clone Wars too, but majority of those Inquisitors are dead before New Hope, because Rebels takes place before New Hope too. And they kill most of the Inquisitors during that time period. Not necessarily our guys, but other people kill them too. I think we'll see Obi Wan Kenobi might kill one or two. Who knows? It says the Grand Inquisitor was the one that was killed by Kanan Jarrus, from Rebels. And what does it say?
Oh, I can shoot. That's cool.
Shoot what?
I can zoom on my screen.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I want to go back up. Go back down. I want to see that guy. Yeah. Hey, no.
You know what that's from? It's from that Netflix show that everybody was talking about. The one where Korean people play a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's a.
But if all these Inquisitors are going to be around.
Well, you got to remember, this time is the height of the Inquisitors. So
that means that they're going to be all over the universe.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see here in the trailer. Their headquarters is that building that's in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and play the trailer. Let me.
That's a cool ship.
Yeah, so we start out here. This is obviously Tatooine, and we've got Obi Wan Kenobi walking there on his little animal he's dragging here.
The fight is done.
The fight is done.
We lost.
Lost. He's obviously depressed.
Yeah.
There's Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
Stay hidden.
That's the Inquisitor ship.
To hunting Jedi.
That
This
building I was talking about. It's the Grand Inquisitor.
Jedi cannot help what
Some
they
sort of
are.
transport.
Yeah.
Here's
Their
inside the building again.
compassion.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back. And I'm
That's
gonna
one of
pause
them.
that.
That's the one
We're
I
gonna
was
look at
looking at.
So we're looking at this picture here. There's 3 here, yes. So this one is the one I was telling you about that's got the little tentacle things or whatever, skin tentacles at the back. This is the
Okay.
guy with the helmet that you said was.
Okay.
and
It's
This is
different.
this is the girl here. This is the black girl right there.
Where?
So as you can see, so out of these 3, the Grand Inquisitor is not in this picture. See that?
All right. They're the black girl. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that's
There's-
standing up in the back. Like,
Yeah.
you see a stormtrooper on one side of her and the other side of the door.
Yeah. I'm
So
zooming in on all of them.
yeah,
Oh,
so
the
that
tentacles is interesting.
yeah, so
I
Their
didn't recognize.
compassion.
so that was a scene where someone's hanging upside down there. Or not upside down, but someone's been hung, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" And that's
Compassion leaves a
our Inquisitor,
trail.
Owen Lars, Inquisitor again.
The Jedi code is like an itch.
Who's that?
That was some admiral. Which let me see. I've got it in my notes here. Compassion. Owen, Riva, Edition. Where's it at? Mos Eisley, unknown woman in gray
the one that was in-
empirical
The
regula.
Mandalorian.
No, I don't think so. It says
The woman?
it says unknown woman, so that means we've never
Oh.
seen her before.
Okay.
Let me continue playing.
He
There's
cannot
the tentacle
help
one.
it.
You see her?
Yeah.
There's the tentacles right there. You can see them on the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay. Now I see him.
Cannot help it.
And that robot there is supposed to be a new kind of robot that we've never seen in this show either.
Well, that one. I thought that was
Yeah.
that was like the big black droid. That was in
Yeah, the
Rogue
one.
One.
Yeah, it's not quite. It could be similar, but it's not quite. It's a little
That's
different.
pretty cool.
The problem with this trailer, part of it is it's so dark you can't see very much
Yeah.
stuff very well. But yeah, so there's that. There's the Inquisitor
Where
again.
is he?
Grand Inquisitor. There's the other guy.
Yeah. See,
The,
that's why I said it's a pirate's hat
yeah.
from the front.
And those ships are supposed to symbolize the 2 different ships. One was Luke's and one was Leia's when they got
Oh,
transported off after they had
Okay.
birth or whatever. That was the Grand Inquisitor. And this is supposed to be it looks like a mystery person. We don't know who it is. They've got a glove on and they're touching something on the wall. And I think that this is maybe Darth Vader, but I don't
that's
know.
Darth Vader. That's Darth Vader.
It could be. It looks like it, doesn't it?
But look, wait, hold on. It
I
looks
don't
like
know
a
what he's
glove
touching there.
It looks like a glove reaching out to a glove. It looks like 2 hands.
No, it's a shadow. It's a shadow.
It's a shadow.
It's a shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a shadow. I think whatever was on the wall meant something, and I don't know
Yeah.
it. And we see these birds here. These are this is supposed to be hinting that people are saying that's hinting that possibly Ahsoka is going to be in the show,
Yeah.
because one of the things in I think it was in Clone Wars where she there was some sort of weird owl that she was always talking to or whatever when she was going from the other world thing between the world things. This is supposed to symbolize that green owl that she was talking to, and there's a whole bunch of them that come out of there. If you see the picture again, about 5 or 6 of them there.
Yeah, the Bat Kid. That's so cool.
Somebody said there was Darth Vader there, but I didn't hear it. I want to go back. Zoom. Oops.
Oh my God.
Don't want to play
I'm
again
looking
on
at
that.
I think that's what's her name? The bounty hunter, female bounty hunter.
Their
No,
compassion
it's not.
No, I'm
leaves a trail.
Fennec? No, she's not.
The Jedi is like
I'm
an
talking about this
itch.
girl?
No, I'm talking about something else.
Fennec is the female bounty hunter.
He cannot help it.
Okay. Well, anyway, so that's the trailer. If you're on audio podcast, you didn't really get to see all the video that we saw, but we can kind of go over it more if you want to, Scott.
Sure.
So I got some notes here. The trailer begins with Obi Wan Kenobi. He's in his exile that he put himself in, and he says the fight is done, we lost. That's I guess referring to the Clone Wars. And maybe we're going to see a lot of him dealing with depression or something like that. He looks through his glasses and sees Luke Skywalker doing the little hand thing. I'm going to stop sharing.
I think he's trying to. He had a visor on. He's doing virtual reality,
or he's pretending to be a
pilot.
Yeah, pilot for the pod racing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so it says it's a blah blah blah, same place. Luke Skywalker, his 10-year-old son. So Luke's like 10 years old there. Obi-Wan watches him, and then we start to see Inquisitors, which are going to be the big bad in this series apparently. Which I'll be fine with just a couple episodes, but I don't want them to be there the entire time. I want more than just Inquisitors and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But
I read something, and I can't. I read something, and I talked to somebody, my sergeant, and he's like a platinum member, whatever, Disney Society, Star Wars Society, and he says the final episode is going to be just fighting Darth Vader.
Could be.
So
Could be. While we have the Inquisitors going across the screen and stuff, the Grand Inquisitor says the key to hunting Jedi is patience.
sounds like Yoda.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jedi are good at hiding, so, and most of them are good hunters too. Yeah, so it says the building that we saw is the Inquisitor base. And then he says something about the Jedi can't help what they are. Compassion leaves a trail. So he's basically saying the way to find them is to be patient and to find, where something good's happened recently, and you probably find a Jedi. And then we see Obi-Wan on the weird train thing that's covered up, and there's a bunch of people in it. And that's
It's
kind
the
of
Metro.
interesting. Yeah, it's a transport of some sort. Yeah, it's the bus system. Yeah, exactly, the Metro.
Does he think that? Does he think that he has to keep his head down the whole time? That everybody's going to recognize him? Because every time you see him, he has his head down.
Well, he doesn't want to be recognized by somebody who he doesn't know is, an Imperial or something or whatever.
Has there ever been said a price on their heads?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Darth Vader did with the Inquisitors. They get paid. I think they get paid per Jedi that they get rid of.
But have we ever seen that they're the most wanted board, like at the post office with these people's pictures?
No, but I know that from what I've heard Darth Vader is it's Luke Skywalker's young, so he's not on the radar right now, but
yeah,
it's Obi Wan Kenobi, which he's got a grudge against because he made him be like Darth Vader without legs and all that stuff. And anybody else he knows, he assumes that Yoda's dead, but they don't have confirmation.
No, yeah.
So I'm sure he's got a top list, like you said, but and I haven't read any of there's a lot of books around Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I haven't read very many of them. But the Inquisitors, he's kind of commissioned to do that work. The Emperor is Darth Vader is the enforcer for the Emperor, and he kind of has free reign to do what he wants. So, and they're in direct communication with Darth Vader. So as we know from Rebels and stuff, because they would tell him something, and then he would appear, and because he was interested in getting whoever was there.
Yeah.
Like that one where he showed up with Ahsoka or whatever, and stuff.
The Inquisitors can't jump rank and talk to the Emperor.
I think I've seen some of them talk to the Emperor too. But I think their direct contact usually is Darth Vader.
Okay.
Because it does say in a lot of the stuff I read that Darth Vader is in charge of the Inquisitors. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? I saw it in here too. Well, Vader. Okay. Anyway, so there's that. So okay, and then we see the guy that's hanging. We see the guy's boots hanging up in the air, and Riva, the Inquisitor, is there. I guess trying to get somebody to tell her something. I guess I'm gonna assassinate a person until someone says something. Kind of thing. I guess.
I think he was already hung.
I think he was too, but I think she's gonna hang someone else or kill someone else.
Yeah.
Every minute or something weird like that. Or
and wasn't the guy in the crowd looking down? Wasn't that
Owen Lars?
Yeah,
that's the uncle
of that's keeping Luke Skywalker.
Yes, that was him. That was him, and him and his wife, I think is I forget her name now. Rue, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're in here. Supposed to be several scenes that they're in. That we see them because even though Obi Wan Kenobi doesn't really, interact with Luke very much, he does with Owen a little enough, because they know his job is to kind of protect Luke,
Yeah.
and that's why he's there. So Owen's there. and then we see, okay, here it is. So this planet that the Inquisitors are on, with that building or whatever, is called Daiyu, Daiyu. It says it's a new planet, meaning, like I said, we haven't probably seen it before, except maybe in books. We see that one Inquisitor with the pirate's hat in a, like a shopping area that's got a lot of neon signs, which you really don't see a lot of that kind of stuff in Star Wars, neon signs and kind of thing.
What was that? B7 or B71 or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. And you also got to think that, they've got that different language they write stuff in.
Yeah.
Like what we saw in Boba Fett.
I'm just waiting for
buildings.
Coca-Cola or McDonald's or something like that to show up.
That'd be funny. It probably, they might. There was somebody, so a lot of that stuff was written in that Star Wars language that's got the weird shapes stuff. Remember in Boba Fett where the building had the scrollings on it? That was in a specific language. And I saw a guy who had translated some of those signs, and one of them was like said French fries, and one of them said something like fruits or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of shops and stuff like that. Yeah, so Daiyu is the planet. Then we see Reva again on the rooftop searching for someone. We see the guy in the streets, and then we see Obi Wan Kenobi in the shadows on top of a roof. Looks like he's up against something, getting shot at.
Mhm.
We see the big black ship, like you said. That's the Inquisitor's ship landing on Tatooine. Unknown woman in an Imperial regala strides through the stretch of shrubby desert. And then we see close to the end of the trailer, Revia threatens the guy with her red lightsaber in the kind of a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, the gloved
hand
hand is right
which
after that.
one. Yeah, I couldn't tell which one of them had a double. I know one of them have a double.
Yeah, I think it's the Grand Inquisitor. You remember you saw the Grand Inquisitor spinning his lightsaber in that one scene? That's the double one.
Okay.
A couple of them have it because I think we saw in Rebels they used it a lot as a helicopter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see, and then we see the gloved hand, and it says brushes a strange symbol on the wall. And then we see Reva again in an alleyway with somebody. And this is on that planet, that Inquisitor's planet, I guess. Daiyu. And then they talk about the green birds after the explosion. They aren't quite sure who Reva is fighting, but it looks like Obi Wan Kenobi. And then we see, it says here, we see Obi Wan Kenobi again, as the title scrolls, and we're supposed to hear Darth Vader's breathing, and I didn't quite hear Darth Vader's breathing at the end there.
I didn't.
But I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times, and I didn't quite hear it. I heard like the music and stuff, but I didn't hear any, breathing. Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear any of that. So, all right. Well, I mean, that's the entire thing. Any other thoughts about it?
No, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be a cool show, that's for sure. Like I said, I hope they don't focus on certain things. I want to see a lot of Obi Wan Kenobi going around doing stuff, not just standing there staring at Luke Skywalker and being depressed, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure we could get some of that because supposedly there's going to be a flashback or two to the Clone Wars. Supposedly, there's two main battles or big battles with Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi. Um, you know, some people are saying that there could be a another showdown with Darth Maul, but that's just kind of maybe they're wishful thinking kind of stuff. Um, I don't know. Uh, there's a lot that could happen.
Darth Maul would have to be something different.
Well, I think at this point he would be the one where he's got the robot legs, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right, robot legs. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got cut in half.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan cut him in half, and he fell down that shaft.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. All right, so let's end the news. And do this. And now, a word from our sponsors. Does your bald head take a beating from shaving, the sun, and all of the things Mother Nature throws your way? Do ladies look at your dry, sunburnt head and cringe? Well, guys, there's a new product out there in the head care market that promises to rock your head. I mean dome. Looks soft, clean, and touchable, and it's trending #1 through social media and on YouTube. Introducing Dome Armor. It conditions with moisturizers like coconut oil and shea butter, protects with sunscreen up to SPF 45, and enhances your already sexy dome into an irresistible hands-on experience. Keep your dome safe and protected. Get Dome Armor, now available in fresh bacon scent. Sure to get the ladies to come running in fine stores like Walmart and Lowe's. Oh, and for those still struggling with minor hair loss, try Grow Gain. This product will refresh, revitalize, and regrow hair on your dome. That's what I need. Yeah, I had bacon on my burger today. It was good. And jalapenos. Hold on. Spoiler alert. Danger. You're about to be spoiled. This is your spoiler alert. We're about to talk candidly and explicitly about some TV shows or movies. If you have not watched them, please fast forward to the appropriate section. You will not be warned again because you will be spoiled. All right, we're done. All right, so let's get into the episode discussion of The Bad Batch, season 1, episode 4, Cornered.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the episode you were talking to me about the other day, where we see Fennec Shand as the spoiler alert. We see Fennec Shand as the someone bounty hunter that's after her.
Yeah,
So the first scene is the Marauders traveling through space, and Hunter proposes they go to Alba 4, but Wrecker says that planet's not inhabited, and Hunter says, "Hey, that's the point. We want to hide. We don't want to be, where a bunch of people are." And then Omega complains that she's been stuck on Kamino her whole life, and she wants to explore. And Hunter disagrees and says we have to lay low. But then suddenly Tech says, "Oh, but we're almost out of fuel and rations." And they're no longer serving the Galactic Republic, so they have to figure out a way to get that on their own. And also Echo says that the Marauders' digital signature is on a wanted list, and they need to do something about scrambling the signature, so they can't be found as easy. So they say they need to land soon, so they can adjust the signature so they can scramble it. And the nearest world is Pantora. Hunter agrees, and the adult clones exit the ship. Omega stares at the map and marvels about visiting there. So they reach the planet, go through the clouds, and they land in a hangar docking area. And Wrecker grumbles about being hungry. Of course, Wrecker's always hungry. And Tech reminds them their priority is the ship's signature. And they're greeted by the guy who's in charge of the hangar, Sultan is what his name is.
Yeah.
Asks if they're there for repairs, and they need a minor calibration and some fuel. The Sultan wants to scan the ship in, and that's when Wrecker says, "Is that really what you want to do?" And since Wrecker threatens him, this Sultan guy offers to skip it for a bribe. Like you said, with the give me some money. And that's the Tech has some money to give him, but that's pretty much most of the money they've got left. Little credits or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes into his office almost immediately when the guys leave to go out, and identifies himself as RABR 6 and is contacting a bounty hunter in an Omicron class shuttle. And she is a female bounty hunter, opens up a hologram of Omega and tells RABR 6 to send her the coordinates and not let the clones leave.
Yep.
So, okay, so we're back at the station, the landing station. And Gonki carries tools and Wrecker unloads explosives. Gonki. Wrecker is unhappy about selling all of their weapons. And Hunter places one explosive charge and says this is the only thing that's worth money.
Yeah.
And he asks Wrecker to stay back and help with repairs. This is when Wrecker claims they're going on a supply run. Echo is coming with. Wrecker stays back, and he sets up Echo with a disguise as a cyborg, and he's got those goggles on like what's his name? Tech has.
Yeah. He flips it down like a mask.
Exactly, almost like a welding mask or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they're walking through the streets and stormtroopers.
Yeah, so they kind of duck a little bit. Troopers watching. Omega is excited.
Yeah.
Everyone's celebrating the end of the Clone Wars.
He's mystified. He's like, wow.
We see another one of those hologram things that's Admiral Rampart talking about exchanging money for chain codes and such, and no cost to like we saw in Suklamai. Hunter thinks they should be faster because there's a lot of Imperials around.
Things are changing fast, he says.
Yeah, and the war being over is a good thing, but Echo says it depends on what side you're on when that happens, which they don't appear to be on the right side, I guess. And
They
we
show up that they're at that vendor.
yeah.
And she's looking at that doll. That vendor's pretty
that's
funny looking.
that comes up here in just a second. We see Wrecker and Tech working on a ship for a brief second, and then it switches to Omega at the vendor. Wrecker and Tech, he begins pulling a lot of the big parts out of the ship, and then it jumps to Omega. Hunter tries to sell the explosive to the vendor, and the vendor says no. Whatever she breaks, she gets to keep. She has to pay for. And he offers to sell Echo to the merchant for 2,000 credits.
No, it was 3,000. He wanted 4,000. They settled on 3,000.
Yeah, he says I'm worth more than that. I'm worth at least 4,000. And like you said, they negotiate down. Echo complies. Omega takes interest in several, like you said, Vora packs in a box. She pats one, which snatches her doll. The Vora packs must be those little doggy looking things or whatever.
Yeah. With that horn guy.
Yeah.
The horn guy was pulling the thing with the goat guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I just noticed that.
It's funny. Yeah. They got some weird looking people. A little goat looking guy.
There's
and Omega runs to chase after the cart with the doll, and like you said, we see Fennec watching her.
Are you lost?
Lost, little girl?
I know. I jumped ahead. Sue me.
No, you're fine. Okay, so the droid, they're leaving, and Hunter realizes Omega's gone. Omega's still running after the craft, and she bumps into a gut, which tells her to be careful. And then this is like you said, this is where she meets Fennec and asks if if Omega's okay. And she offers to help find her friends. And she puts her armor under and they start to walk off. And the guy at the shop sets up Echo to be the supervisor droid. And we meet a female version of C-3PO.
Was that a female version?
Yeah, it's a female version of Protocol droid. It's actually got the designation of CG-67, female Protocol droid.
Every time I see one of those, I just think CP3O.
Yeah, I mean they look exactly the same. Except that one was C-3PO was kind of brassy color, right?
Well,
this one was shiny, wasn't it? Yeah.
When you got the skin.
Yeah. And then there's a couple other droids. The other droids want to report to Echo, probably because the Protocol droid is mean. He draws his blaster to suggest that he'll be in charge and not taking complaints from the Protocol droid. Elsewhere, Hunter finds Omega's doll on a street corner. We see Omega and Fennec walking when Fennec asks if she's hungry. And this is where Fennec bumps into a vendor and a bunch of fruit comes out. And they help the vendor pick it all up, and she sticks one in her little bag while they're. Fennec sticks one in her bag while they're picking up the fruit.
She sticks two in her helmet.
Yeah, you're right. One in her helmet. Yep, in her helmet. They pick up the trader and walk on, and then she hands the fruit out. Omega complains because they didn't pay for it. and Shan says it's okay sometimes to break the rules.
Yeah.
Omega asks Shand if she's a soldier because she saw the blaster.
Yeah, she saw. Yeah.
And Omega says that that's why she and her friends have blasters, because it's a dangerous place.
Well, Fennec says a girl got to protect herself,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
that's a lot.
And Hunter sees Omega and calls to her, which Omega says that that's one of her friends when she's talking to Shand. And Hunter tells her to step away from the woman. And she replies that Omega and her were just getting to know each other. Hunter reaches out for a knife. Shand fires first with her blaster pistol. Omega grabs Shan's arm to stop her from shooting. Hunter throws a knife at Shand, who blocks it with an object before dodging another attack. Blah blah blah. The two fight.
I like how she puts her helmet on. It's like, oh, yeah. It's on.
Clunk. Right, and then Shand grabs onto Omega's wrists and flees. And I guess bumps into Hunter and knocks him out, it looks like. And security guards arrive, prompting Shand to retrieve her pistol and flee. And then we go back to the ship where they're doing repairs, and Wrecker finds the signature key, takes out the component. Tech makes the adjustments, and we hear Hunter contact Tech and say that Omega's been lost, and that he needs some help. And he says that the woman is highly trained. Tech taps into the video system to find Omega, and Hunter tells Tech to get the ship ready, because once they get Omega, they're going to need to get out real quick. And we see Tech complain that he needs some help putting all the parts back in because they got the ship all tore apart. And that's when Echo replies and says, "Hey, I can help out." He brings all the droids he's got with him to go help out. The protocol droid kind of protests a little bit, but eventually goes anyway. Especially since he removes their restraining bolts.
We're out of here.
Yeah, and he walks out of the store and hands the restraining bolts to the merchant, who is shocked to see that Echo is not a droid. And then we see Shan still running after Omega. She goes down a manhole.
Yeah, so same on the manholes that you saw that remind me of Mandalorian.
Yep, there's those, and then we saw a lot of them use manholes quite a bit in the Rebels too, I think. Going down below and whatever. And that's when Wrecker Tech spots her on the video cameras, and that's when Wrecker goes after her. And we see Wrecker and her meet up in one of the tunnels that she's in. And Shan comes up upon them, and Wrecker tells Omega to climb up the ladder, which she does while Wrecker attempts to fend off Fennec, and that doesn't go very well. She eventually knocks him out, causing him to hit
a lot of head injuries.
Yeah, he is. and like I said, it knocks him out. She reaches the top of the tower, which is way up. It appears it's a big tower that's 40 feet up in the air or something like that. She's on a really thin ledge, and then we shoot back to the spaceport, and Echo has got the droids working hard, programming and assembling the ship. Protocol droid still thinks she's in charge. And then we go back to Omega. And there's a blast at the door that causes Omega to stumble. And she grabs the ledge. And she's dangling from the ledge. Hunter looks up and sees her there. She begins to fall, and it looks like Fennec Shand sticks her arm out and saves her. And Shand notices that Hunter's basically getting close. So she
on the cycle.
She tells exactly, and she tells she sees a ship going by that's got a bunch of cargo on it. She tells Omega to tuck and roll, and throws her towards that ship, and then jumps down herself. Wrecker finally wakes up and Tech updates him. Omega raises the lift on the truck, so everything starts to spill out. Looks like Fennec loses her blaster.
Yeah, onto another ship, I think.
Another ship. An Aqualus driver listening to music in his cab.
No,
Omega grabs a rope.
That's the driver of where Omega releases the payload. He's not paying attention because he's listening to all the music.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And then we see, because there's stuff falling off, we see some security guards also start to follow on a speeder bike. Shand jumps on Shand jumps on that driver's speeder and throws him out.
Oh, she had to, because the crap was falling out of the cargo.
Exactly. And Hunter flies over to the hovercraft and reaches out to Omega. However, Shand bumps him with the hovercraft. Security guards and the bikes, she shoots at him. Hunter almost hits another car. Shand speeds off. Let's see. He places a detonator. Hunter places a detonator on the ship that Shand's on, and she jumps out in time before it explodes, which gives Hunter some time to take Omega away from her. And we see Wrecker out there complaining that he's missing all the action. Then we go back to the base, the space station, and we see the final diagnostic test indicates that the ship is operational, and Echo tells the protocol droid that she's back in charge and they can leave.
Go back to the shop.
They can leave, and that's when we see Hunter and Omega arrive back at the shop. And Tech tells Wrecker to hurry up and get back because he's still out there.
He's so winded.
He's worn out. Yep. Wrecker soon follows, and the clones take off in their Marauder. as the engine fires up, the hangar manager runs out and says, "Wait, she hasn't paid me yet. You have to stay."
Okay.
In space,
Yeah.
Hunter tells Omega that their opponent was a bounty hunter, but is unaware of her identity. Echo explains that a bounty hunter is someone who hunts and targets people, and that Omega was the target. Hunter says they need to find out who this bounty hunter is. And we see Shan talking to the hangar manager.
Yeah.
Who tells her that he tried to stop them, and she throws him a credit chip and says to contact her if he finds out anything else.
Yeah.
Walks away and removes her helmet. She speaks on her comm link and says the target got away. So we need to, who is she talking to? We don't know.
Boba Fett, not Boba Fett. Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't know really who she's talking to.
Whoever.
I think it's
Empire.
The Camino ones.
It's darn it.
The Emperor.
The sluggy guy.
Oh, Jabba.
Yeah.
I think that's who it is.
All that stuff went through Jabba, I thought.
Maybe.
All the bounty hunting.
No, I mean he used bounty hunters for a lot of stuff, but it was more,
Vader.
The crime lord kind of stuff, not necessarily everything else. Because Jabba was just a crime lord. He dealt with the Empire a lot, but he wasn't, exclusive. I think it's probably the Kaminoans putting out a bounty on her because they need her back for the next phase.
Yeah, because they're like that's the whole thing. They're like at wit's end because they don't know what the new empire is going to do, or
exactly,
because they can just enslave humans or enlist humans and make them into stormtroopers.
Basically brainwash them into being stormtroopers, which is what we see in the final trilogy. That's what Finn is
when he took his helmet off. Yeah, when that happened the first time I saw that, didn't we see that together?
Yep.
That was like, what? They could do that? What?
Take their helmet off.
They're humans.
Yeah. They're not supposed to. Yeah, they're not supposed to though. Remember, he got reprimanded for taking his helmet off.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the entire episode. I'm gonna do this real quick. We are proud to welcome our latest sponsor, Juan's Cantina, where every first week of the month on the standard galactic calendar, we celebrate what the ancients call Cinco de Mayo. Come join us at Juan's for food, mariachi music, and 34 flavors of margaritas. That's Juan's Cantina right next to the Hangar 94 of Mos Eisley Spaceport. On day 2 of the week is Taco Tuesday. All tacos are half a credit each, enjoyed with our house margaritas. Juan's Cantina also serves the galactically famous Dos Camarones Azul Cerveza, imported directly from Kessel. Thank you again for our latest sponsor, Juan's Cantina. What? 2 shrimp. That's what that means. 2 shrimp.
Okay. I didn't know.
Dos Camarones. Camarones is shrimp.
Not like I took Spanish.
I know. I'm just telling you. Azul is blue, so it's 2 blue shrimp. 2 blue shrimp. Dos Camarones Azul.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's pretty good too. It's a blue beer.
Yeah.
So the next episode.
Yeah, Rampage.
Yeah, which is season 1, episode 5, Rampage.
Interesting.
And Tech gives Crosshair's former comlink to Omega. tells her it's not a toy. It's mostly so they can communicate, especially when she gets lost, like she did with Finnick. She can communicate with him. And Omega asks where they're going, and they say to Ord Mantle. Since there was a plan to stay low, Hunter explains they need to find out why the bounty hunter is after her. And Echo has an informant named Sid who might be able to help. Wrecker asks if they can trust Sid, prompting Echo to reply that Jedi trusted Sid. What were you going to say? No.
But I have a curiosity about this episode of where they end up, Sid.
Yep.
The voice. Is the voice of Sid who actually Sarah from Mandalorian that runs that hangar?
No.
It sounds like her.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, excuse me.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think it's her. Let me see here. I think I can actually look it up. Excuse me. Let's see. Credits, appearances. Let's see. Characters. What? Cast. Why is it not showing me anything? It's not showing me anything like I want to see. I can look it up and we can find out about it later. I can't seem to find it right now. It's not letting me see the characters and stuff. We're in the show. Like it usually does.
Yeah.
Probably because it's older or something. But I know
that
it's
was my
voiced by
only query.
Who?
That was my only it just kind of
Yeah. It's a familiar voice, but we don't, in animation you find out that a lot of people are the same person that's voicing it. It's just they changed their voice a little bit, stuff. So it could be the same person. I don't know. I don't know that information right now. So, all right. So back to, they give her the comm link and they say they're going to see Sid, and they tell Omega that's not a toy, and she keeps playing with it like a toy and keeps saying, I'm sorry, I know it's not a toy. And she's just having fun playing with the comm link.
Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Yeah. She's at the back of the ship. So they land their ship at an underground hangar on Ord Mantle. They travel through the streets. And Omega, they're quizzing Omega on the lessons they taught her about not trusting people and when to use the comm link, and they go down an alley to a subterranean cantina, which is frequented by a few aliens. Echo mentions that he's never met Sid in person, but he's heard of Sid, but he doesn't know what she looks like.
And Omega goes, "You're Sid."
Yeah. Omega finds who she is, but they're going around asking all the people there. Hunter goes to a Transdojian. Are you Sid? You're Sid. And then Hunter talks to an Ithorian and a wee way. And that's when, like you said, they all go around talking to different people, and Omega says, "Hey, you're Sid, aren't you?"
And she goes, you seem to be a lot brighter than those people.
Yeah, you're a lot brighter, a lot sharper than your friends.
Yeah. That's it.
Hunter asks Echo if the Jedi had other informants, because they're not, really happy with Sid. They're getting ready to leave, and Wrecker complains that they came here for nothing, and they start to realize that the bartender is Sid. That Omega knows what she's talking about. And they go back in a back room, and she tells that the Jedi were valued her for insight, and the demand for her services has dropped since the Empire has come. She remarks that she's never met a clone deserter before. Let's see. Text says they've separated due to fundamental differences in ideology.
The big word. You can stop using big words. It's Saturday.
Exactly. Echo puts his thing in his little arm in Sid's terminal. Hunter shows Sid a hologram of a mysterious bounty hunter they encountered. And Sid says she doesn't know or recognize who that is. But it's definitely a bounty hunter. And Echo asks if they can hire her to find out. And Sid replies, it depends on what they can do for her. And they're shocked at the comment. And Sid says that they need to pull a job for her. She has some mercenary work for them to do. And she needs them. She talks to Omega about being the brains of the operation. She wants them to retrieve a kid named Muchi.
A kid.
And they say Muchi is taken by the Zygerian slavers on Ord Mantle, and they're on the other side of the planet. Sid tells him it's going to be a 70-30 split on the bounty.
It's not very fair.
No, it's not. She says, take it or leave it. And Hunter and Sid say they have a deal. Hunter gives her a intel stick, or she gives Hunter an intel stick saying it's got all the details on where they need to go. And then we see the Bad Batch get in their ship and land. Wrecker's complaining about pain.
I want one of those ships.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Travel around space and stuff.
So cool.
They approach and land, and Tech says the Zygerian slave traders are hiding in the ruins of an old Ord Mantle city. And Omega asks what a slave trader is, so they explain to her that it's someone who buys and sells people for credits.
And she goes, "You can buy and sell people?"
Exactly. She does. She's surprised because she's never heard of that.
There's lessons in these cartoons.
There's lessons, yeah. There's lessons in every single one. What are you talking about? Tech adds that they stand to earn a lot of credits to do this job, and Omega vows to rescue Muchi. They survey the land, use their binoculars. You can see everybody looking, and then Omega's looking with her binoculars too, having all kinds of fun. Wrecker asks if it's a smash and grab mission like they did in Kuwait.
Kuwait.
Hunter orders Omega back to the ship while they go out and find and split up and do everything. Hunter asks,
She sure doesn't like being told what to do.
well, she doesn't like to be out of the action, I think. She's having too much fun when they're in the middle of doing whatever. Hunter tells Echo to go up high and Wrecker to draw out the forces. Hunter and Tech are going to grab the kid while they both cause a distraction.
Yeah.
Echo senses some movement and he's attacked by a large serpentine breezak, some sort of weird animal. And the clones are soon captured by an electric net by the Zygarians. And we flash back to Sid's bar, and Bib Fortuna's there and asks about why there's a delay on getting Muchi. Says that his master's becoming impatient.
So that is for
Jabba.
Yeah, Jabba.
Yeah. She tells Fortuna to reassure his employer that he will be reunited with Muchi soon. And Fortuna issues some threats and hut teas, prompting Sid to say there's no needs for threats. She has her best people on it. And we see, we go back to the Marauder where Omega and Gonki the droid are. She's making some stuff on alterations on her doll, and she hears some Zygarians outside. So she hides and tells Gonki to hide, which the droid just kind of sits down and shuts off.
Yeah.
She hides behind a seat. And the Zygarians come in the ship and search around. And because she's small enough to, kind of blend in with the seat there, they don't see her. She escapes through a trap door out the bottom of the ship and hides behind a boulder while they're still searching around. And the guard comes back on the radio and says the ship is empty, and they all leave on their little speeder bikes. Once they leave, Omega radios the Bad Batch on the comlink, but receives no reply. She's up on the mountainous area, so she gets out her binoculars and sees that the clones have been captured and restrained. Wrecker loosens the chains, and Echo is electrocuted by another guard, and the big old dragon thing flies around the leader's tower. A Faline little girl cries. And this is where Wrecker says that they're the cavalry come to rescue them. Tech replies that this doesn't appear to be a standard military operation, that they're not experienced in rescuing children from slavery. Hunter says they need to signal Omega and let her know they've been captured, but their comlinks are way over there. And that's when Tech spots Omega on top of one of the buildings, and tells the clones they don't need the comlink to reach her. Zygarian slave leader inspects the captured clones, hoping to sell the 4 strong prisoners for a good price. And Echo protests because the Galactic Republic outlawed slavery. And that's when they again say that, the Republic doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Omega scuttles across some cables. and Echo is able to get over to their weapons. She's climbing down a pillar and she happens to knock a rock off, which draws more attention towards her. And Wrecker distracts again by kicking another stone. And we see one of the guards beating Wrecker with a whip. He talks about feeding Wrecker to the flying dragon thing. Empire Omega descends down and jumps on top of a large crate that's got air holes in it, and she looks down and sees a large caged animal. And Omega unlocks the cage, and she runs into the Zakarian guards, and she says she's not sneaking out, but she's unlocking the bolt. And the guards attempt to secure the cage, but the rancor breaks the door open, and we see a little baby rancor come out of the cage.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. The clones take advantage of the major distraction and break free of the trains and rip off the neck braces. The flying dragon thing joins the battle. Omega pushes the Fallon girl, who she believes to be Muchi, saying they are here to take her home, and her father speaks in Fallon and tells her that the Rancor is Muchi.
Points at him. That's Muchi, and everybody goes like, "What?"
Muchi. Yeah, and they all like, "Oh my goodness, that's bigger than we thought, even more." And Hunter, of course, tells them they need to capture the Rancor so they can get their intel from Sid. Echo says that he and Omega are going to get the other slaves to safety while the other clones find Muchi. Hunter tells them to go for the speakers at the entrance, while Omega and Echo lead the liberated slaves to safety. Hunter go and then find the clone who is fighting several Zagarian guards. Another guard fires a energy bow at Muchi. Muchi leaps at the guard, causing him to fall from the tower. They converge on Muchi.
Lands on the ground.
Yeah, it lands on the ground along with the guard.
Omega gets it
in a little bit, yeah. Then Muchi and the dragon have a little fight. The dragon's tail keeps flicking at Muchi. Hunter throws.
Muchi goes Hulk on the dragon, flying dragon.
Yeah. Hulk kill.
Hulk's back.
We see one of the guards named Ranny confronts Wrecker or Hunter, and Hunter says he's going to take care of this guard while Tech and Wrecker go after the Rancor. And Ranny pulls out a vibro blade and wraps the electric whip around Hunter's arm, and Hunter uses the whip to pull the guard closer. Echo and Omega take shelter behind rocks from the guards, and they make it to the speeder. Echo retrieves the Zakarian energy bow, like you said. And meanwhile, Muchi is still causing havoc, breaking things and beating up people. Our guys are kind of watching Wrecker and Tech Wrecker asks how he's supposed to stop the thing, and Tech says that rancors adhere to a social hierarchy, and you have to challenge it for Alpha's authority. Muchi and Wrecker begin to fight. It looks like for quite a long time, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth. They start getting tired.
They're built for each other.
Hunter finds a couple bikes, speeder bikes, and Echo and Omega return to the rest of the group. They watch Wrecker and Muchi fight for a while. Like you said, they're both getting tired, falling down. Muchi finally drops in exhaustion and falls asleep, while Wrecker pats Muchi on the head. And Omega talks about how cute Muchi is up close.
Each one take her home.
Yeah, she just wants to take her home. So later, we see Bib Fortuna again at Sid's with two Gromarian guards. You know, the two that we probably saw fall off the cliff in Boba Fett. Sid remarks that she is the presence of Jabba's right-hand man, which is Bib Fortuna. Fortuna says Jabba demands an answer about Muchi, and she tells Bib to relax because she always keeps her promises. And Fortuna warns her of the consequences of failure of this mission. But then we hear Muchi roaring in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And outside, Omega is riding Muchi into town as Wrecker has Muchi on a muzzle. And we see Bib Fortuna rush out to Muchi, and they get all cuddly and blah blah blah. And they say goodbye to Muchi. Everybody's sad that Muchi's leaving and whatever. And that's when Sid and Hunter slip into her office, and Sid tells Hunter about the bounty hunter Fennec Shand, explains she's new. She has already proven herself to be ruthless and cunning. And when Hunter asks who hired her, Sid says she is working on a direct commission, and she doesn't know exactly who. Then Sid warns Hunter that he will need friends and money to find out more. Hunter admits they are not swimming in money, and she gives Hunter their cut of the credits. And she asks if they're looking for more work, and Hunter says they'll think about it. And this is where we get the quote from Sid, where she says that a hunter of Shan's caliber will take a lot of time to get rid of. And Hunter frowns, but Sid says she is good with secrets, and that's when the show ends.
Yep.
So I mistakenly made two questions of the week out of the same episode. My first question of the week was, will Sid keep the Bad Batches and Omega's secret? That they're on the run, and she knows who Omega is and all that stuff. Do you think she'll keep the secret?
Yeah.
I think she does throughout the series. I can't remember. We see her talking to some people at some point during the series and kind of question that, but I think she still keeps her secret. And my other question of the week is Muchi the rancor we see in the Return of the Jedi in the big pit that Luke Skywalker falls into?
Had to be.
You think so?
Yeah.
So we we get to see the cute baby Rancor, and then it gets killed in Return of the Jedi. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, because that one guard cries out about it. When it gets killed, you know, when its head gets crushed by the door.
Mm-hmm.
The one guard cries about it, and I can't remember what he says. It could be Muchi.
I raised him for my baby. That's what he said.
Yeah. And it could be Muchi. I don't know. Because he does say the name of it, but I can't remember what he says. I have to go watch that scene or whatever, but I can't remember what he says. So that's 2 episodes right there. Both of them were pretty short. They were like 30 minutes each or so.
Yeah.
Any outstanding things you need to talk about on them?
No.
There's quite a bit to happen in both of them, I think. We're getting into the middle of it here because there's, what did we say? There's 12 episodes, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're about halfway through now. We'll do 2 more next week. You know, there's a lot of excitement around the Obi Wan Kenobi trailer. You know, Twitter's been crazy about it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the doubters out there too that are like, "Oh, this is going to be worse than the Book of Boba Fett," which I don't know. There was a lot of people that complained about Boba Fett in the beginning, but now that you know, it's a different kind of world nowadays because you know, you and I we're used to shows coming on and you know people watching them when they first come out, but with streaming now, people watch them later, and there's a lot of people that have watched Boba Fett later and like it. I think it's just the one-offs that don't like it anymore. There's the community that likes Boba Fett and all that stuff is getting larger and larger with every week that people watch it. So I still see people on Twitter saying, "Oh, I just watched the Book of Boba Fett," because you know how people like to watch stuff nowadays. They want to wait until it's all done and then they watch the entire thing.
They binge it.
Yeah. So I think you know that could happen with Obi Wan Kenobi too, but Obi Wan Kenobi is supposed to be another step above the Book of Boba Fett. It's supposed to be lots of you know things that we liked about the original series are supposed to be in Obi Wan Kenobi. You know, we get some Darth Vader, we get some Inquisitors, we get you know all kinds of stuff that happens. So looking forward to that. Should I run the outro, Scott? Are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansen.us. Left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansen.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries, Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle John Hansen, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
Goodbye now.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye now.
Okay, let me turn off the recording if I can get my mouse over there.